Hey, everybody. Welcome to Bulb Spring webinar. I'm Bria Jones with Bulb, and I am so excited to announce Brooke Lowry. She is with friEdTechnology, and she's going to spend just a few minutes teaching us about how to use and find great images and put them into and build a bulb page. So, Brooke, I'm actually going to turn it over to you.
All right. I don't know if they can see me, Bria. Earlier we had it set where we were presenting, but we've had some technical difficulties tonight, so I don't know if if they could see me or not. Can you see me, Bria? Can you give me a thumbs up if you see me up there?
Yes. So
Okay,
we can see you, Brooke. So I think we're
perfect.
all set.
All right. Well, hey, everybody. My name is Brooke Lowry, and I'm going to talk to you guys tonight about using your photos and your pictures inside a bulb. And if there's any questions throughout this, and if you're on here viewing us live, please put it in the chat section of your YouTube live chat there. And Bria and a few others, I think, are monitoring that, and will be able to let me know what your questions are so we can go back and look at those. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you because I want you to be able to see what we have going on. So here I have my bulb page, my portfolio dashboard, and I'm going to go in first. I'm just going to create a page for tonight to get us started. So as you teach your students and as you work with bulb, you know it's always important to make sure you have a title. So today I'm just going to title mine Photos with Bulb so that I know exactly what I'm working with in here. So one of my very favorite features of Bulb is how simple and clean and crisp everything is when you're working with inside of the Bulb app. And the cover image is very, very beautiful. So I know that in the past there's been some limits on your cover image, but now you can use any size image to put in there, but it is requested that you use a larger pixel like the minimum that it has here, because if you have that size image, then it will be all pixelated and hard to view when it's being published. So to get started, first, I want to talk about some really cool websites that I use constantly for photos. And the first one is Pixabay. Pixabay.com. You do not have to have an account. It's great if you have an account because then it kind of keeps up with some of your favorite images. You can use safe search it goes along with your firewall and that sort of thing. So you make sure you always get appropriate pictures. And this one is completely free. This is people who have taken really great pictures at high resolutions and they've put them on here with free use. So if I were looking for a mountain picture, I can go in here and type in mountain, and it's going to bring up all of these different images that I can use. So you'll see up here at the top, Shutterstock is being advertised. Well, Shutterstock is a paid for website that you can go in and buy credits and have monthly subscriptions to in order to have your pictures to be downloaded. And again, it's paid for. And sometimes I use Shutterstock or Big Stock Photos because I want to buy an image and not worry about where I'm using it. And I buy the rights with it as well. So they are great options. So if I wanted to use this picture here, I could click on it and then I can do a free download. If you'll see here, I have as Creative Commons, which is free for commercial use and no attribution required. If it says that an attribution is required, all you have to do is make sure that somewhere in your presentation that you mention your artist's name here, Joe Brewer, who has 101 images up. I would just make sure I mention him and give him the credit for this beautiful photo. So that wouldn't be hard to do. So I'm not going to download this one right now because I want to show you that it's the same process, and I'm actually going to download from Google in just a few minutes. So here's another one called Unsplash. I love to type in color, and when I type in color, it pulls up these really awesome photos. I love bright, bright photos. Oh, this one I haven't seen before. I love that one. I use these two quite often. These are two of my favorite that I keep in a folder. So they're also the same way where you click them and you can download. So I'm going to close out of these sites, go back to my image here. So now if I go to Google, this is kind of where I want to start with you guys on downloading an actual image. I'm going to type in, I'm actually going to here, mountain wall, I'm going to do background. Because a lot of times background, I know you're looking for an image for wallpaper on your computer. So when I click on the image tab of Google, I have all of these images. But what you don't know is if these images you can use for free or if you can post them on your website, and that is so important. It's especially important to talk to students about that, about making sure they're using free use photos, because if not, they can really get into some copyright problems. So Google has this really cool tool built in. You can go to settings and go to advanced search, but I like to just do things a little quicker. I click on tools right here. So I'm clicked on image, then tools, and now my usage rights appear right here. So now I'm going to click down for label for reuse. So here's with modification, here's non-commercial. I'm going to do label for reuse. It's just out there for anyone to use. And then remember I said that we kind of like larger photos because we want it to not be all pixelated and grainy. So I'm going to stick with this bigger one here. I went to size. And if you were looking for a certain color, you can even pick a color. And what it will do is it will pick a color that's the main color in the photo. See how now all my images are being viewed mainly by this teal color. Wow, isn't this one pretty? So here you can see that it looks small, but it's showing here that the images right here are really large. I'm actually not going to pick that one because when we're doing these live streamings, those larger pixel images can take up a lot of bandwidth. So I'm going to stick over here with this one. This one's great. So the easiest way to save a photo from inside a Google image is you can right click. Whoops, let me that. You can right click on your image and do save image as. I don't think you can see that on your screen, but I've just done a right click and then a little menu pops up and it's save image as. If I'm on a Chromebook, the right click option is 2 fingers on the mouse pad or alt click, and that'll bring up the right click. So this is saving this picture here and it's saving it to my desktop, which that's okay for me tonight. And I want to make sure I always look to remember where that photo was. So I'm going to start with my add cover image. And I have some options. I could use one of these photos I already have in my asset library, or I can upload from my computer. I'm going to browse, or I can also look in my Google Drive. So if I'm using a Chromebook and everything I download immediately goes to my Google Drive, then I would look in my Google Drive for that download. I know that this one's saved on my desktop. So I'm going to go to Browse, Desktop, and then that one was Pexels Photo. So I'm going to click Open on here. It's probably going to take just a second for it to load. I'm going to get it all up here. I love that it shows the progress bar. Students are going to like that it shows the progress bar because then they're not like, it's not working, it's not working. No, look at the progress bar. So to adjust my image, it says drag image to adjust view, so I can decide what I want to be viewed. I like seeing a little bit of those trees. Well, let's leave it with this. And then I click save. And then I'm going to have this other option up here at the top of my cover photo that is going to be expand or decrease. So let me show you the difference. So now I can see the whole photo. There's everything in view. If I expand it, it's going to show that section that I drug my image to be. All right, I bet Bob Ross could help us draw that painting. I know that's what everyone was thinking. So those of you who can't hear me or want to laugh along with me, I bet that's what you're thinking. Some happy little trees. And if you don't know who Bob Ross is, I'm very sad. Okay, so we're going to start here. When we start typing, I'll also show you how you can do images inside of your bulb portfolio. So here's that asset library. Remember we talked about that? So these are pictures I've used in the past. And you should be able to see that now that photo that I just downloaded to go into my cover image is now automatically in my asset library. And if I have my teachers made me a template and put some photos in there like this one, came from a template. Any image that was inside of the template that I have already opened and explored, there are photos in there. So I'm going to click this one. I can say once it comes up, I can hit select, and so I can pull one in really easily from my asset library as well and add my caption. Amy's dog, he's super cute. That's Zeus. So I'm going to click on image here. If I wanted to pull one from my Google Drive, it takes me just a second to connect to my Google Drive. It's going to open for me. And a lot of times I have my photos already in there, but it will also just give me some options here of my photos. So if I wanted to use this one, I have to click on it and hit select. And now this image is there as well. So it's, as you can see, it's just so easy to put these images. And this option is brand new to Bulb. And I think it is really smart that this option now is available for everyone. And it's the photo carousel. So I'm going to play with it real quick so I can show you what that looks like. I'm just going to pick some photos out of my photos here. I'm going to go with this one. It's kind of a larger photo. We're going to make it work. So now that I have an image in here, when I click on my photo, I now have an option once it's selected that this little multi-pictured icon comes up. And when I click on that, it says you just converted the image into an image carousel. And I'm like, awesome, that's exactly what I wanted to do. So now when I click back on it, now I have a plus and a minus sign. So if I click on the plus sign, I can now go in here and I can grab other images to add to my carousel. I'm going to go in here. Let me grab another one. All right, so see, notice that this one is even a different shape than this other picture, and that's fine. This is more of a banner picture. I'm giving it a caption just so that you can see. If I wanted to put an image in between these two, if I decided I wanted to change the order here, I just go back to this image, click my plus sign, and now that image will go in there in the middle. And I'm going to add a picture from my asset library. We scroll through and find a fun one. There we go. So now again, I have another style picture in here and all of that is saved. So now when I'm working with my pictures, I can just click through the carousel one at a time. So let's go ahead and preview what this page looks like so you can see it live with all these wonderful photos. So here's my great cover photo. Here's my photo with the caption. This banner photo looks really good in here. And then here's my image carousel with all my different pictures, and they just go through. And I love that the caption stays with the image in the image carousel. So I hope that that helped you kind of get to know a little bit more about Bulb and what Bulb offers with photos. There are some cropping options as well. When you click on here, you can crop your photos, you can center left and right. You may already be familiar with these tools considering you're using them already in your classroom with your students on videos and other options, but I do want you to recognize that those options are there, and that's how you delete. All right. So we've talked about Pixabay and Unsplash and some of our other in our image carousel. As you can see, we always like to make a note list to make sure we're giving you guys everything you need. So if there are any questions, make sure that you find us, send us an email, and we would be more than glad to get back to you on how to do those imaging. So I'm going to switch back over to Bria for a second and see if there's anything she'd like me to talk about that maybe we didn't go over.
Thanks, Brooke. We so appreciate you showing us some images. One thing I just might add is that the captions that we have available in Bulb is a great way to put citing your sources. So if you find an image on the web and you need to cite a Creative Commons or just give credit to the originator of the photo, that caption. You can link in a caption and add a caption to all of your photos. So it's a great habit to be able to cite all of your photos that you get. But I so appreciate you sharing those images with us. And if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to reach out to us at help@bulbapp.com, and stay and watch more of our webinars coming up this spring. Thanks so much, Brooke.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope that that helps. And I'm looking forward to seeing some of these bulb published throughout social media.
Me too, and I'm excited to see Bob Ross being Googled a bunch tonight now, because
Yes.
people are going, "Who's that?" No, that's so fun. All right, you have a
Right.
great night, Brooke.
You too. Talk to you later.
Bye.